time he yeah. When you're freshman, get here at 9 o'clock, you get to see it pretty quick. Then it's about 30. Lucky enough to move on. That's
I have my butt for 1 second. There you go.
It's like $50,000, $25. It's really not the tickets as much as it is the spot. You know, if you're getting $50,000 spot. More learning. I remember some. I was probably chasing. Well, it's definitely 25. Well, it's wild.
Tell me about yeah, well, I bet that's a job.
All rise. All rise.
You sound like the bailiff.
I know. Jim McCullough, can you, oops.
We can pledge the real flag.
Yes, can you lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mike, I'm looking at you. Can you lead us in the four-way pact?
The four-way pact in the way I interact with others, personal accountability, courage, and truth. First,
I will have the courage to tell the whole truth. I will be kind in the way I tell it. I will be fair and not seek selfish advantage. I will have an open heart and an open mind.
Jack, can you lead us in the invocation?
We can bow our heads. Dear God, we give thanks for this beautiful day and for the guests that are with us. We ask a blessing on the Rotarians here and around the world and the projects that they're involved with. Bless this food and this meeting to our use. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. All right, let's welcome our guests. Let's start over here. Mike Erickson.
So we have this is Carol Stream, Andre Ed.
Eileen.
I have the pleasure of introducing a group. Say hello to Heather. We haven't seen her in a while. And she's a member. You know, Lauren Chilvers, who had helped us with fishing well for 7 years now. We are in our 7th year. Has left Harper, and I want to introduce you to Brenda Escucha, who is going to be heading up their scholarship awards and working closely with us. Outstanding pleasure of introducing 2 of our fishing well students. Mary, would you stand up? Mary Dickon, would you tell them what just happened to you?
I just received a license and a practical nurse.
And I'm also a nursing student at Harper. And actually, I just passed, actually January, my license practical exam. And actually, I'm grading to our folder office as well.
George Panopoulos.
Yeah, I know, she said.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
my pleasure to introduce Peter Kabor, who is a civilian looking for Rotary.
We have to be on our good behavior today.
Any announcements today? Bruce, do you have an announcement?
As a matter of fact, I do. Cooler by the Lake, an hour of the Chicago Botanical Garden Flower Show, followed by maybe 2 hours of OOPA. Did I say that right?
No.
OOPA. My favorite place, my favorite Greek restaurant in the United States, the Greek Islands in the middle of Greek town. And it's just a wonderful place to have dinner. And we'll get us a big table in one of the rooms off to the side. And so we had to change the date. We originally were trying to do this on March 5, but it was better for a whole lot of people to do it on the 12th. So we're taking it For those of you who missed my prior announcements, you take a bus downtown to the flower show, get on the bus again that takes you to Freetown, and a bus again that takes you back here where we all meet in. Hopefully you won't mind us parking our cars there a lot. So that's it. The things going around, and have a happy weekend if I don't talk to you.
Hello, friendly club.
Hello.
I have here in my hand the NCAA booster spread pool. We have 40 people signed up, we need 64. So if you're good at math, that's 24 people we need. You can sign up and they'll fill us, you can pay us. And good news, because I know the question's gonna be asked, you can sign up for more than one class.
Well, there you go.
I'm gonna start it with yes. I'm already in the pool.
Okay, I have a few announcements. So on Square, somebody made a payment, so thank you for paying your bill, but nobody put a name on there, so. No. So it is a Visa card. If you can tell me the last 4 digits, I will then apply your name to it, but I'm not just. No, that's not how it works here, George. That's true. So it's a card that's only ever paid once, because there's only that one payment on there, because I searched it up. So it's gonna be a mystery, someone's paying your bill. So that's it for that one. So
How much was the payment?
$80. Okay, so it's a very common payment, so I really couldn't tie it to anybody. And then, thank you for everybody who filled out the job form for my installation dinner on June 29th. It will be a Poplar Banquets right connected to the bowling alley. So if you could just fill that out if you are coming or not, that would be great. And then, so I'm in charge of doing putting baskets together that we're creating. So some of the things that I'm gonna be doing are like, do you want to ring that bell for me? Nobody's paying attention to me. So I'm gonna do a lot of different baskets, but if anybody has like lunch gift cards they're not using to local areas, or if they have cigars that they want to donate, or any other alcohol, but I know it's going other places, so just anything you want to donate, I will create this fun basket. But if you have cigars, things like that, golf, apparel or balls, anything, but I will be collecting that all. So if you have any gift cards that you just aren't going to use, or you just want to give up because it's easy, so that's it. That's all I got.
Rachel, do you want that?
Oh yeah, and I'll also take baskets. If you have empty baskets, and I'll fill them up with the good stuff to sell. So, thanks, guys.
I'll be quick and then we'll let Gail up here. Project selection, we've got lots of applications in. Next Wednesday is March 1st. It's kind of freaking me out. So that's when things are due. We're a little loosey-goosey on the, if they get it in a little bit after, we'll survive. But any nonprofits that have not submitted an application, we will take them and review them throughout March.
So Alan's not here today. And Bill is busy doing the buzz. So I am your classic announcer today. And I just want to remind everybody, we know it's all coming up. We have sold 97 tickets so far. I'm not sure, Barry, how many food tickets we've sold, for people coming, but actual tickets, 97, that's pretty good, I think. But we still, of course, have a long ways to go. So please get your tickets in. Barry and I are here every Friday, or you can buy your tickets online through Better Unite, easy peasy. Tom and I had a good Zoom call last week with Wings, and we're getting our social media campaign kicked off. So a lot of things are happening. Rachel's busy working on these baskets, and Jean and everybody's working together to make this very successful. So please keep at it, keep up the good work, and sell those tickets. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. Any other announcements? I think we covered just about everything. Happy dollars. Who's happy? Anybody happy? Don. Okay.
Wait a minute, we have to make a statement.
Wrestle over it.
There we go.
So we have $5. And I
You know, you dress like you were. We just wanted to say that we had a lovely time with the fellow Rotarians away from the club, unfortunately, but we had a ball in St. Martin and there's 5 shows. Yeah.
Who else is happy?
Well, y'all make fun of me when I advertise that my son Eddie, who wants to be a math teacher at high school, 3-sport athlete, well, you know who. Starting Monday, he will be Mr. Ghost at Conan High School as a long-term sub for math. And we're very excited about him coming home.
Roger.
I have $5 happy because tonight I'm going to have a nice steak dinner with my grandson Nicholas. No expensive fare, we're going to the Outback, we can order whatever.
Go ahead. I can't even see who that is. You bastard.
I tell you what, being here and having a good week, got $100. I got one. I got just found out I get the winner in the Super Bowl $50, so I got a $750 check coming today.
Hey.
The biggest news is on Saturday, my third grandchild was born, but was my first grandson. So.
Randy.
I've got $5 happy. Next week, actually Wednesday, I'm flying to Vegas. So what happens in Vegas? Right? The fact is, I have a client that invited me to speak there on leadership. So I have a 1-hour session to pay me a whole lot of money. The best part is my sister and husband live in Vegas and I haven't seen them for about 4 years. So it's a good trip. I'm looking forward to meeting and seeing my sister and her husband and spending time over there with them. So I got $5 for that too.
$5 happy. So, quick story. So I called my accountant. Are you sure I'm not getting an ERC credit? No, you're not. Call back a few weeks later. Everyone's telling me I should be getting an ERC credit. You sure I'm not getting an ERC credit? No, you're not. Call back a month later, push back 3, maybe 4 different times. Then I ran into one of my trusted advisors, Lauren Trumbull. He says, hey, are you getting the ERC? I said, Lauren, they told me I'm not getting it. He goes, boy, and then because Lauren said it, I called back and laid down in front of the door. And told them to into it. And I'm getting like $155,000 back. So
Okay.
$5 for Lauren Trumbull.
Vince.
I need to do that.
My grandson Joey.
Did you get PPP?
I love talking about my grandson.
So did I.
My grandson Joey just got a job. Just graduated from college 2 months ago. He's Parks and Recreation at the advice of Gene Schlinker. Anyway, he got a job as an assistant manager at a golf course in Gurnee. It's called Bittersweet, one that I never heard of.
We'll be golfing there.
Lauren.
Just got back from Antarctica.
Wow.
Indescribable by pictures or words. Awesome.
Wow.
Aaron.
I got $10 because I echo Terry's words. There's no gift like the gift of Rotary, and it's really great to be here today to see in person the impact of the club makes. So congratulations to you for your accomplishments. It really gives me
as a new business owner, Rotary has meant so much to me and new friends like Andre, who was introduced to me by Tom. I just really appreciate the support and just all the good people that are in Rotary.
Bill,
Well, I have $5 and not to be outdone by a reading. Or for coming back from the arts. We had a wonderful time in Palm Spring, my wife and I. And now coming in here, visiting both Terry and Andre, and I think I got a lead for a friendship exchange in Europe. And I gotta hold Andrea to it. Thank you. Thank you.
Eileen,
$5 not to be outdone by Bill. Just thanking our wonderful students for being here today and all of the effort that Harvard has put into making the fishing well such a huge success, and all of you for your commitment to it.
Nice.
what?
$50. Two of them are for my sump pump in my basement for keeping things dry. At my back up there. Shout out to the sump pump. Two are for Gary for doing a bang up job on the taxes this year. He's not here, but just think about Gary. He's doing his little thing right now. 3 is because this week I was really proud to be named the Pro Modelers top 40 under 40.
Again, Roger?
Yeah, I want to go again. This is from the heart. So, sometimes only Renee little love notes. So yesterday I left her a note that said, "I adore you," right there when she came out. And then all day long she didn't mention it. Didn't bring it up. And in the evening before we went to bed, I said, "Hey, I left you a note." And so I know it's just you're so good at that stuff that I'm not good. And I said, "Well, just whatever from your heart, it doesn't matter how it's said." So this morning when I woke up, there was a note for me that said, "You're so sexy when you walk into the washer."
Gene?
I have $200. Lauders did an amazing job at the auto show this past weekend. And everybody wants to hear at the Metropolis, so we have to play the weekend of April 21st.
And I have $5 happy. Jeff Miller's people made me some divine yard signs for my election.
Guaranteed to win.
And tomorrow morning at the crack of dawn, I will be here for a candidates forum and they'll be grilling me about who knows what.
All right. Good luck.
Oh, Gene's.
So I have 2 more happy dollars because I challenged everybody if they want to bet that the White Sox will have a better record than the Cubs.
I didn't hear any of that.
Anybody else happy? Going. All right, let's do the Queen of Hearts. Shuffle. All right, who's gonna be lucky? And it's Gene Schlinkman.
Sorry, guys. All right, lowest number is number 9. Niner. I am. Oh, Ace of Clubs.
Wah, wah.
Good card, but not what we want.
You know, we haven't done birthdays in a while. Ted Gross's birthday was on the 15th. And Terry Parks was a few days ago. How would you like to celebrate your birthdays?
Hey Ted, that's my daughter's. How old was it?
All right, just the ladies, and you sing happy birthday to Terry.
Happy birthday to you.
Ted,
I'm good.
he's good, okay. All right, enjoy your lunch.
Good.
Oh, okay, so not like not like being interviewed by the boss. There's a picture, not just your name, but like a quote. They try to migrate all the emails over here as well. That's probably you've done it already. Yes.
And I like the fact that we do stuff here from a. I think that.
You were talking about tasks.
I'm pretty much.
So no. So yeah, that's making especially.
That's
John likes that customer service, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
But it's okay, we still love
She's
you
the best.
very much.
You're the best. Right.
Anything.
Just to set up.
Yeah.
Basically, for the business, it's like that can't.
That's nice.
What qualifies you or what disqualifies someone for the year? But we definitely probably do that. I don't know it's not complicated, but it's a look back on order. And if we had, it's similar to people math, right? Okay, well, that was easy. Yeah, so, and usually now they even have some of these third party firms that are chasing it like. I hear radio commercials all the time. What they do is they'll do the research, they fill out the forms, and then they keep 20%. But you still gotta pay taxes on it, so it's 20% plus. Whereas I think you're accountant. And then the other thing is too, there's an amended return that you would have to do. That's when you get the money after you amend the return. So in other words, when you amend your 21 return, yes, it will show. Gotcha. All right. Because of the other thing that happened above. All right.
Right.
I have to look into this. I'm oblivious to the math.
Even
20% less than $100,000. My payroll's probably half. But even Gary. Does you say Gary did your taxes? Yeah, no, but he does my personal taxes. He will do my taxes.
Right. It is 12:50.
And I do have the full slate.
I know you always look at that.
Chomping at the bit, are you? All right, let's bring up our illustrious fine master, Jeff Miller.
Hey, let's hear it for me, huh? Okay, it's good to see everybody. A couple of things right off the bat. Make sure you pay your things, right? Pay your fines, make sure you pay them. Because you're taking money out of the kid's pocket, Glenn. You don't want to do that, do you? No, but Glenn pays. I don't want you to take that I'm inferring that Glenn doesn't pay his fines. Do we have some collectors back there? Did you get your food yet, Chris, or you're not eating? All right, so if you could collect back there, Chris, and then Rachel and Tom, can you too? And Tom, it won't be awkward when I find you to pay yourself, so you collect it, will it?
I don't pay anyway.
Right off the bat, I don't know, for some of you that go to the club, has been part of the club for a while, is this the first time that Bruce Dopke mispronounced the word oopa?
Nope.
No, it's not, Bruce. So we're gonna have to get you, I'm a nice guy, only $1. You got $1? Yeah, okay, thanks, Bruce. Tom on his way to the podium, I don't know if he does, this is called a grazing fine. On his way to the podium, he pulled one of our cheese sticks off our table, all right? And then he dipped it. And he bit it, and he dipped it again. And then I think, he had a pang of guilt because on his way back, he dropped one, and then he put that one back on our table. So Tom, that's a $2 fine for being a cheese stick guy. Rachel, I think people started talking when you were making your announcement because it was way too long. Okay, so that's $2 for that. Normally I don't fine table guests. Hey, just, this isn't a fine, but Gail and Barry, thank you for doing what you do with the tickets and all that. I know it's a lot of work. We'll round of applause there. Appreciate that. Don, I saw you in the parking lot in your underwear. Yeah, okay. Well, that'll be $2 because it made me feel weird. If you have a quarter zip on today, shout out to you. How many people have a quarter zip on today? Like, yeah, raise your hand if you got a quarter zip on. The rest of it, that'll cost you $1. That's a quarter zip, Terry. You're set. Yeah. If you don't have a quarter zip, put $1. I don't see anybody collecting money. You're stealing from the children. People are going to miss dinner. Lauren, I just got back from Phoenix. I was feeling pretty good about it. And I know that, where'd you just get back from, Bill? A couple months, Palm Springs, St. Martin, is that where you guys were at? How's that all stack up to Antarctica? Thanks a lot, Lauren. Even though you got me in the money, I'm gonna cause you to pay $2 on that. And then Chris and Linda, I don't usually like to, I usually find people if they're late, right? But then you guys were like so late. I wouldn't find you just because I know that it was a very deliberate effort to get here. And you're like, I'm not, you know what, I'm not even gonna go. And then you decided to come anyway. But it's still really late, so that'll be $2 on that.
I got it.
All right, good. You know, I think George here, last week you did Karnak. Did you do, I wasn't here.
Yeah, I did.
Do a little Karnak? As you guys know, I like to play a little game called Bet on Your Rotarian, right? And I'm gonna randomly choose somebody from the crowd. Bill Kelly? If you could just stand up for us, Bill.
I got a triple task. I'm gonna be doing checkout here. I'm gonna be doing the buzz. I'm gonna be answering questions.
And he's on a conference call. Couple things here. First of all, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask Bill a question. And I'm gonna give him a multiple choice question. And he's going to answer the question because I only call on him, Roger, when I know he's an expert in the field, okay? And then he's gonna give you his answer, and then you're going to bet in your head on whether or not Bill is right or not. And because we're Rotarians, we tell the truth, right, Ted? So he might say an answer, and you're gonna say, I like his answer, and that'll be your pick, and then I'll tell you what the right answer is, and if you lose, it's $1, right? Okay? Don't mumble out loud the answer, because some of you might know, because you're stealing money from the kids, Gene. Okay, so don't mumble the answer out. Don't get excited when you might hear the right one. All right, here we go. Ready, sir?
Yes.
Pickleball players like to be called one of the following names: picklers, pickle paddlers, pickleballers, or PBPs. PBPs, which is pickleball players. So it's picklers, pickle paddlers, pickleballer, or they like to call themselves PBPs, pickleball players. PBPs? How many of you think it's PBPs? Okay, how many of you think it's pickle paddler? How many of you think it's a pickleballer? They actually like to be called picklers. So if you got that one wrong, just throw yourself $1 in there. Here's something that probably a lot of you are aware of. Pickleball actually started in Bainbridge Island, Roger, Washington. Bainbridge Island, Washington, way up there on the West Coast. 3 fathers, Joel, Bill, and Crazy Charlie, got together. Their kids played badminton. They couldn't find the little birdies. They were always running out of birdies, so they walked around the garage and came up with pickleball. Crazy, isn't it? When was that, Bill? 1945, 1965, 1975. This is when it started. 1985, 2005, 45, 65, 75, 85, 2005. When did those 3 fathers originate the game of pickleball?
You know, it's amazing because people think it's a very recent game.
Yeah.
But it really goes all the way back.
1965 is your answer, Bill. How many of you think it was 1945? 1965, 1975, 1985, 2005. Bill, it was 1965. Every sport needs a capital, Don. And you know what the capital of pickleball is? Bill probably does. Okay, I'm gonna give you a choice of 3 different cities and states, Bill, of the pickleball capital of the world. Naples, Florida, Sarasota, Florida, Seattle, Washington. That's Naples, Florida, Sarasota, Florida, Seattle, Washington. Bill? Sarasota, Florida. How many of you think here it's Sarasota, Florida? How many of you think it's Naples, Florida? How many think it's Seattle, Washington? It's Naples, Florida, Bill. You were wrong, and so were a lot of other people. Two quick questions left, Don, and I'm done. All right, Gene's got money. I don't know, do all of you know that I'm an internationally, probably our guests don't know this. Do you guys know that I'm an international champion in pickleball?
Champion or just internationally known?
In your mind.
Internationally known and champion. There's a 7-foot area, Chris, in front of the net, okay, on a pickleball court. It's got a name. Bill, ready? Is that 7-foot area in front of the court on both sides of the net, is it called the kitchen, the hot spot, the table, or the lid? And that area there, you can't hit the ball overhand. All right, so it's called the kitchen, the hot spot, the table, or the lid. No overhead. Okay. The table. Nothing overhand on the table. That was his answer. So is it the kitchen? Raise your hand. Is it the hot spot? Raise your hand. Is it the table? Raise your hand. What Bill said. Or is it the lid? It's called the kitchen. That area there is called the kitchen. Last question, Bill, and then we'll be done, and I'll be done, Brian. Thank you very much. Boy, that you guys are very happy today too with Happy Dollars. You see that? I was a little bit worried that we'd run out of money because you can tell here. Yeah. This is a true or false question, Bill. The name pickleball derives from the family dog of one of those 3 gentlemen that rolled the game out in 1965. Their dog's name was Pickles. So when they named the game, which they made up, they named it pickleball after their dog. True or false?
No, it's false. The etiology of the name is absolutely fascinating, but it's not.
Okay, so how many of you believe that Bruce, sorry, Bruce, I'm still hung up on Koopa. Bill's not buying the dog story. How many of you think that is true, that the dog, that pickleball was named after Pickles the Pooch? In fact, it was a Cocker Spaniel.
I kind of want that.
We want to believe it, but it's just not true. In fact, if you Google it, they'll say it is true. But then it was later found out that in 1967, Pickles, the puppy, Cocker Spaniel, made his first show in a photo in 67, 2 years after pickleball was formed. So it is believed that one of the wives saw a boat, a pickle boat, and they said, why not call it pickleball? But we know it was not that. So thank you very much to our own Bill Kelly. And thank you all. Thank you.
Yeah.
And now we'll bring up Heather. You want the video first or the PowerPoint first? Okay.
Oh. Did I break it? Hello, Rotarians and guests. What do you say? Hello, Eileen. Come on, give it back. All right. But everybody's awake, right? All right. Does anybody know offhand how old Fishing Well is?
1965.
Following Jeff's great pickleball stories. This year is our 7th year. I can't even imagine, 7 years. We had our first class start in the 2016-17. I'm very excited to be here today. We have our friends from Harper. They're going to tell us about many of the successes, and we have several of our students. I want to just tell you, when it comes to Valentine's Day, I love it because I get a whole pack of Valentine's cards from Harper from our students. And I'm going to just give you a couple of quick lines so that you can share in what you are accomplishing. This person says, Valentine's Day seemed perfect to express my infinite gratitude to you. Another person says, your support has allowed me to focus on toward attaining my degree and also made me less worry about paying for tuition. This is my last semester at Harper, and I will start working as a teacher after summer, hopefully, fingers crossed. Madoka said, you make it possible for people like me to achieve my educational dreams. So that's what we're doing here, folks, with Fishing Well in our 7th year, and we have many years yet to come. On top of Fishing Well, we built ACE, which was Pat and Jean and another group of us pulled that together. ACE is Advancing Community Economics, and that is $250,000 that we put together with international Rotary clubs and a grant from Rotary International. So it's growing, it's working, and one person at a time, we are making a difference. I'd like to do a quick shout out to your Fishing Well Commission, so you know who those people are. I'm the chairperson of the Fishing Well. Bruce Godke, please stand up. Bruce is our vice chair. Roger Smith. Roger has been handling our mentors for a long time. Christina Hosa is the Fishing Well Commission member. Don Miner, our suave tropical guy there. Don and Bruce have been with us since day one, and Jean Schlinkman, who is not here. The commission has worked to make the program successful, but the real work happens with what our students do and what Harper does to make it all come together. So Heather's going to take over. She's going to do a full program for you, and then I'll be back up just to close it off. And if we have any questions, hopefully we'll have a couple of minutes. Heather?
All right, good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Heather Zoldak. I'm the Associate Executive Director of the Harper Foundation, and I've been working with the Fishing Well program since its inception. As Eileen mentioned, Lauren Silvers, who worked with the program for many years, left Harper last summer. And I am very, very, very relieved that we have found a wonderful replacement for her in Brenda Escutia. And while I bring up the PowerPoint, I'm going to have Brenda introduce herself and give her a little background about who she is.
Thank you. Hey everyone, my name is Brenda Scutia and I'm the new scholarship manager working at the foundation. I started in December. I've been working at Harper for 2 years now. And before the foundation, I was actually working at the one-stop office, helping students apply for FAFSA and helping them apply for scholarships. So now I get to see the back end of it and working with donors and the criteria to award scholarships. So I'm super excited. I am also a Harper alum and a scholarship recipient. And so being a first generation college student, I was part of a summer scholars program right before entering my first semester. And the scholarship was more than just the money for me. It really gave me the confidence that someone believed in me, that I could be successful. And so I think it's just full circle that now I'm back at Harper. I'm being able to work with students in the scholarship program. I'm super excited to be able to work with all the different donors that we have that want to help our students become successful. And thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, well, I also want to thank Mary and Angelica for being here today. I know Angelica's working, she took her lunch break. So, I mean, you guys are busy, you have families, you're in school, you have jobs. So thank you for joining us today. And I think we have Gia who's watching the live stream right now too from home with her daughter. So it's nice to have them involved and engaged. So today I'm going to go over some outcomes for Fishing Well for the last year. But first, you know, we call it Fishing Well by the numbers, but really just want to remind you, it's about the students, right? It's about the people who are receiving these scholarships. These are 8 of your current recipients for this year. We had them come into Harper and write, you know, what your giving means to them. And it's really small text, but I thought I would just read a few of their comments here. One writes, I was able to continue my education while supporting my family. Another one writes, I got encouraged and can focus on earning my degree. I'm looking forward to finishing by the end of the semester. And one says, I can focus on finishing my RN and not having to worry about anything but my studies. Thank you. So this year, students are studying early childhood education, paralegal, RN, information technology, food service operations, accounting, and bookkeeping. So your scholarship support is helping them beyond the financial. It's giving them this sense of release. They can focus on their studies and their family. So as Eileen said, we've been doing Fishing Well since 2016. You guys have supported 73 individual students for the last 7 years or so, which is amazing. So thank you so much for your support. Yeah. This year in the program, we have 17 students. So 9 are brand new to the program this year, and 8 are continuing on in their studies from previous years. And this year we've awarded almost $54,000 to these students for tuition, books, and their fees. And I want to sort of talk a little bit more about what Eileen said. Fishing Well is not just a scholarship program for students. We have utilized the success of the Fishing Well program to develop other programs at Harper. So ACE 1, ACE 2, obviously were, you know, based on what Fishing Well was doing. But the mentoring that you do in this club with our students really has meant so much to our students. And so in the foundation at Harper, we created a program last spring called Corporate Virtual Mentoring, but we are pairing our other scholarship recipients. We have 225 other scholarship funds. We're pairing some of those up with volunteers from corporations in the area. So Motorola. I'm here in Hoffman Estates, we're working with the Vistex and with the WT group. And their volunteers from these corporations are virtually mentoring our students throughout the year. So it was because we saw the success of this program and what mentoring does for our students that we're expanding it now. So thank you guys for building that foundation for other programs at Harper. I want to talk a little bit about the academics. So the average age of a Harper student is 35 and a half years old. For a Fishing Well student, it's 35 and a half. For a Harper student, it's about 24. So we definitely are helping those adults who are looking to change careers or re-enter the workforce. And the first graph is GPA. The average GPA for a Fishing Well student is 3.47. They are outperforming the general Harper population. And I just looked at those ages too, like 25 through 40 plus. So other adult students, our Fishing Well students, are doing better than the general Harper population. Looked at persistence, and we look at persistence as students who are enrolling in semester to semester until they finish their certificate. The persistence rates of our Fishing Well students is extraordinary. Looking at students who persisted from spring to fall, 86% versus 69% of the general Harper population. Those who are persisting from fall to fall, 80% of our students in Fishing Well are persisting versus 63% of just general population. So I think what the Fishing Well Scholarship is doing is relieving some of that stress. Students don't have to worry about working all the time. They can focus on their studies. They're not thinking about how they're going to pay for the next semester because they know if they do well, their scholarship will be renewed. So you are removing that stress from them and they are exceeding. They're doing so well academically in the program. And then finally, since the program began, 49 students have earned a degree or credential after receiving the Fishing Well Scholarship. And some of them have received multiple credentials. You know, they're getting one credential, they're earning another one. So they're finishing. So Fishing Well is helping them get started, it's helping them stay, and it's helping them finish, which is the ultimate goal. So thank you so much. Just a list of the different degrees and certificates that students have earned so far. Just, you know, a lot in healthcare, a lot in bookkeeping. We have IT, supply chain, early childhood education. But the one thing I want to point out is that all of these degrees and certificates are terminal, which means that once they finish this degree, they are ready to start working right away. They don't have to continue on. They can if they want, but these are meant that when they get that degree, they are working right away in their industry and they are ready for that job. They are career ready once they finish this. So 49 students have earned one of these degrees or certificates. The top degrees earned over the last 7 years, Rad Tech. We've had 10 students who have graduated with a degree in Rad Tech. And just wanted to point out, we have some career information here. This is on the Harper website. So students are looking at career plans. They can find, this is like career trajectory over the next couple of years. So Rad Tech median salary, $64,000. Right now in the Chicagoland area, we have 897 job openings in that field. So our students are graduating with good paying jobs where there's a need in our community for them to get hired. Radiologic technology. Thank you. Next degree, nursing. We've had 4 students so far graduate with an Associates of Applied Science in Nursing. So again, $68,000 average salary. There's over 20,000 jobs open in the Chicagoland area in nursing right now. And then sonography, median salary for that, $81,000. And there's 458 jobs open in the area. So again, our students are working or, you know, working towards degrees in jobs that have need here in our communities. I did a little bit of snooping on LinkedIn to see where some of our Fishing Well graduates are working. So not surprising, a lot of them are working in healthcare at Ascension, Advocate Good Shepherd, Edward Elmhurst, so in our area, Northwest Oncology. So they're staying within the Chicagoland area in our communities working. Accenture, one of our web design students is now working at Accenture. So they're working, which is great to see. And then I want to follow up. So Mark Ryan was a recipient who received a scholarship back in, I believe, 2018, 2019, and 2019, 2020. And he's now working at an RN at Midwest Oncology, which is located here in Schaumburg. So he's working in our backyard. And last year we asked him to share his story for a foundation event we were doing. So I wanted to share his story with you today because during this 4-minute video, he focuses on mentoring and going back to school and talks about Rotary. So I thought I'd play that now for you. And then afterwards, we can take any questions that you might have. Oh, I want to mention too about Mark. This past December, he made his first donation to the foundation. So I think it's just, yeah, right? It was so exciting for me that what you instilled in him, this sense of community, this sense of giving back. So he's been out of school now for 2 years, he's working, and he is now helping future Harper students that he will not even know, but helping them get a leg up like you guys did. So, I mean, what more is Rotary than you are helping pay it forward for that next generation of people wanting to support the community. So I think his story is special, but I just wanted to thank you because now you are helping people, you know, your Fishing Well students are now giving back the same way that you did. So thank you. So let's show the video. We can try it. Well, this is the one that, yeah, let's just do the one that was downloaded to be safe. Check these on the desktop. Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is, Mark. Right. Just really have to take down the. It's still,
I came from the
not showing up there.
Philippines.
Just got me.
Go up there was.
ID knew the technology chair.
There we go. There we go.
I arrived here in 2012. Since then, I was working as a clinical research coordinator. So being in research, I was kind of being at the back end, although I do see some patients, but I think I can do more. That's why I decided to study. And at the same time, I want to have some, of course, financial leverage at the same time. So it took me a while to really find the courage to go back to school, starting with the small steps going through the process of the nursing program. We were given that mentorship opportunities at that time. Lou sticks out because I felt like he's my grandfather. And because I think I love being with older people in from my generation and just talk to them, and it's just an open conversation. Stopping for that conversation, I think it frees up my head a little bit. I'm not new to the medical field, but as a new nurse, everything is different. The rules are different. The perspective is different. The level of thinking that you have to be into is different. The level of attention that you have to spend with the patient is very different as well, because you're right at the bedside. And it's not like you're the one making the decision, but you're the one taking all those insights from the patient to the doctor so they can make the right decisions. I've been there for a year. The patients have been my friends. And then they become families. Then you lose somebody. So it takes a toll on you. Perspective, the pandemic, different. We recently had an outbreak, and then all patients, we have to make a COVID unit, transfer everybody. Every day, the rules keeps changing. We all wear masks every day, shield. But what's worse is you go into a patient's room, you have to put on a gown, put on everything else. When you go outside, you take out everything else. And I have, I think at the worst time, I have like 11 rooms that I have to go into, just doing that on and off, on and off. All the facilities here at Harper, for me, are top notch. I mean, my comparison is from where I'm coming from. So everything that we used here, I am using at my work mostly. I believe it did prepare me from where I'm going, hospital-wise. I mean, whatever we have here is what we're using. I was one of the fortunate few who has been helped. So I guess I want to say thank you in behalf of everybody who has helped. I want to thank the Rotary Club of Schaumburg and Hoffman Estates for giving me the opportunity to have that scholarship and for what they have continually been doing at the same time. I hope that you continue what you're doing because you are changing lives as much that I am being part of changing lives in my profession right now. Thank you.
Sure. So I just want to echo Mark's sentiment. Thank you so much for all that you do. Your mentoring, you sitting on the committee when we interview the students, you have chosen some amazing students over the years who had that will and that determination, but needed a little bit more support. So thank you for all that you've done. You are truly like changing lives in our community. You are paying it forward. This is going to have a generational impact on this community. So thank you so much for all that you do. And we're here to answer any questions that you might have. Go ahead. For a Harper student is 24. For the fishing well is 35.
video is really well done. So was your presentation. Thanks for showing all that to us. Something that really stuck out to me was you talked about the GPA and the different age groups and Harper sort of across all. And sort of, forgive me for a bit of a serious question, but are we selecting exceptional candidates, or are we helping to make people exceptional?
I think it's both. I mean, I think that you are choosing students when you interview them, that you see their determination, you see that they are dedicated and they need some help. But I think then the scholarship too, you know, a lot of our students are still working, but maybe they're not working as much. They can focus more on those studies, or maybe some of them don't have to work at all. So they're allowed to spend more time focusing on their education. So I think it's a dual-edged sword. You know, you're choosing those who you know will succeed, but then you're choosing because they don't have to work as much. You know, I mean, if you're making $12 an hour and you're getting a $2,000 scholarship, you can really cut back on what you're doing in the office and you can focus on your studies.
Thank you.
I was really impressed with his, how he said that you're getting the same kind of equipment that is used in real life, right? That's really important. We all want that. They can all very good work. Is it like that at Harvard College with a lot of the different pursuits and degrees? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to bring you guys to Harper for a tour, but I mean, we have the simulated hospital that when you walk into it, it looks like you're in a hospital setting, and all of our healthcare programs now are utilizing that simulated hospital. So we have mannequins that breathe and that can gurgle and that can spit up, and they're getting that room. In those hospital rooms, we have closed caption TVs. So the students are being recorded and they can watch themselves back right away and get that feedback. We have, you know, manufacturing labs where we're having companies up and down 90 donating big pieces of equipment. So students are learning on the equipment that's being used in, you know, the manufacturing plants. So we have, you know, really worked hard for many years building these relationships with the businesses and getting the tools at the campus. We have a crime lab, which is amazing. When you walk into it, and if you walk into it on the wrong day, you're going to see a decapitated mannequin. Yeah. And it is the Rotary Club of Schaumburg Hoffman Estates Crime Lab. It is named right. You guys have the crime lab. But in that crime lab, they are looking at clues and they have fingerprinting machines, but they're learning everything. And one thing I learned about our criminal justice program, they're also working with faculty to learn how to be a good, when you're on the stand, a witness, an expert on the stand, because we had one faculty member who worked for, I believe, the Hoffman Estates Police Department for years. And he was like, I was always so nervous on the stand. I couldn't get my point across. So they're working with students now to get them to practice to be a good witness so they know what they're doing and they're getting that real feedback. I heard from a faculty member who said, we want the students to fail here where it's safe and they can learn. So when we put them out, they are ready. So yeah, we've worked really hard to make sure that we have the facilities to train them for what they're going to do.
We would love to come and see Harvard College. Would there be the opportunity to do a Friday Rotary lunch over here?
We can make that happen. Yeah, and we could do a tour in the afternoon. Now, Fridays are pretty quiet on campus, so we won't have a lot of students, but we'd be happy to do a lunch and then give you guys a tour.
When the weather's nice.
Yeah, when the weather is nice.
Great idea.
Hi, Bill.
Great presentation, great program. Thanks for the recipient summit. What's the pipeline like in the next couple of years? What do we have? I know that a lot of these students are continuing on. We talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, do you want to talk about funding or?
We have funding to continue at the $50,000 a year level for probably another 4, maybe 5 years. The Bezos grant that they received a couple of years ago helped carry over about $30,000 that normally would have already been dispersed. So we're in good shape to continue on, and our goal is to get more funding so that we can continue beyond this time frame. And it's been an exciting 7 years. Could I just ask quickly, anybody that's been involved in the interview process, raise your hands. Look at the engagement in the interview process. Every one of you have come back to me and said, wow, what it meant to you to be part of that. Who's been a mentor? Again, engagement, the club to our students, to the college. And it's a commitment. And Roger, what do you say about being a mentor? You have a great elevator speech about that.
It's the best way to make a maximum impact with minimum commitment.
Absolutely. And when Mark referred to Lou, my husband, Lou, and he said, he reminded me of my grandfather. When I shared that with Lou, he was like a little, but he is. But Mark qualified that by saying, because he listened to me. He listened. And Mark was a doctor in the Philippines. And when he came here, nothing transferred. So he was starting over. And that's why when he said it took a lot for him to decide to go back to school, just imagine. It's like going back to kindergarten. And Harper helped nurture him through the whole process. So when Jeff says it's for the kids, it is, but it starts with what we do for the parents and the grandparents and the example it sets. The example our students set for their children can't be measured because that impacts the next generation. And it's not just their children, it's their cousins, it's their brothers, it's their sisters. We've heard this from our ACE students too. It impacts the whole family and friends because they see what someone's doing to have a more sustainable income. And we have a saying in Fishing Well that we stole from Harper, and they let us learn more, earn more. And that's what it says right on the front of our Fishing Well brochure. Any other questions, Gail?
Heather, thank you very much. And Eddie, thank you for your involvement and all the help out with the fishing. We see the value of that. I'm so proud of our Rotary Club for participating and stepping up to help Harper and Fishing Well. And I'm sure Bill will agree with me that another reason the fundraising that we do in this club, especially the classic coming up, is so important to fund and help these wonderful programs. So please, everybody, get out there and sell your tickets and help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's the happy dollars and it's the fines, but the classic being one of our major efforts, we know a lot of other Rotary clubs. We could not do it based on the income of a lot of other clubs. This club is singularly amazing in what we accomplish. I think so. So congratulations to all of you. Any other questions for Heather? Bruce, there, Brian's pulling the plug on. It's got the hook back here. Any other questions for Heather?
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Today, the good people at Gigi's made us coffee mugs with the four-way test, which we are going to all rise and do. I'll have to go upstairs. Next week is a club assembly, then we can all talk the whole meeting.
All right.
All right, please join us in the four-way test.
You do it.
Heather can do it.
All right, first,
Is
it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Enjoy your weekend and thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
Based on kids' story.
Oh, did you get like the room?
I'm a Lutheran. I can eat meat.
Turn this off so you're not